And well, in 1997 you got your first album.
Yeah, and there was actually a lot. I had actually made a bunch of sort of unofficial releases and full length stuff. So there was a lot of stuff that existed before that. So it kind of sounds, I don't know, it sounds like a dormant period, but really it was, I think that's where we were really sort of establishing ourselves as a comfortable little outfit, you know, before, and then in that time too, you know, we were getting our sound, you know, so it helped that once people came familiar with the band, and we already had something to offer. We didn't have to go through this weird awkward stage in front of I mean, we went through our awkward stages in front of our, you know, in the small coffee shops and stuff in our hometown, but the rest of the world, we spared them that.
What is in your fondest memory of that? Well, you were saying it looked like a dormant period, but it wasn't. What is your fondest memory then?
We always had a weird cross section of friends. There's a weird thing about the area where we live. They're kind of, we were all skateboarders, and there was like, you know, but but then, you know, just, you know, regular artsy types of people, and then like our family and friends and like blue collar people. But then no matter what, everybody was kind of rough around the edges, you know. It wasn't a very refined crowd. So when I found myself trying to make more you know, heavier or like slower music, it really kind of, it was disturbing for a lot of our friends, because they kind of like the more sort of raucous kind of just the raunchier sound that we did. And so after a while, after developing enough material, you know, we would go back and forth, and I started to learn the power of, you know, like the high energy song, and then follow that up with like sort of a slow song, and then start combining the parts even like within the same song. But I mean, there were some shows where we kind of concentrated on the faster, you know, raunchier stuff, and those actually used to get out of hand, because we kind of came from a town where there's a lot of frustration, and just kids don't have a lot to do, so you know, they're always like, I don't know, like getting into fights, and some of our earlier shows used to get really crazy. It was just sort of like a bunch of backwoods hillbillies just, you know, looking for any excuse to beat the crap out of each other. It's like and we played a lot of shows like that, where it was like, basically it's like, here you have like a little garage, and you pack like 40 to 50 people in there, and you get the band, everybody's in there just like sweating, and beer is flying all over the place, and like the crowd is fighting each other, you know, girls are falling all over the place, the band is fighting the crowd is fighting the band, Aaron's jumping over his drum set, and like people are like, you know, swinging guitars. We really had shows like that in the beginning, and it kind of made me less tolerant of this sort of like the fragile atmosphere that goes along with indie rock, and like, you know, the more I don't know, I can appreciate both sides of it, but I don't know, there's something really satisfying about those dirty days.